Hi, and welcome to the show. I am Dr. Martina Wade-Hill, your personal life coach, helping you navigate through life. For personal coaching sessions with me, I invite you to my website, lifecoachmartina.com, and tune in regularly on YouTube for more episodes. And please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. So today, I'm going to talk about fighting through fear. Have you ever struggled with fear-based thoughts? Have you ever found yourself afraid of the unknown? Personally, I have. Fear is a very common thing. The problem comes when you allow fear to control your destiny. We have to get to the point where we can manage our emotions and not allow our emotions to manage us. A lot of times we'll have all types of thoughts that run through your head. I remember Joyce Myers. She wrote a book called Battlefield of the Mind, and I remember reading it several times. And I remember her really in the book talking a lot about being very conscious of your thoughts and how it's very difficult. And, sometimes you never really pay attention to how much your mind wanders and the things that you really think about. But pay attention to your thoughts, pay attention to your thought life, and then pay attention to how you react to your own thought. I don't know if you ever considered that, but I want you to try that at some point. Think about something and then pay attention to how you react. So if you think about something happy, then pay attention to that smile that comes on your face, or pay attention to how your mood is. But notice if you think about something that's sad or scary, notice if anxiety comes about you. If you start feeling heaviness on your chest, or you start having issues with breathing, or if your mood drops, your mind is it's the control center, okay? It's the control center to everything all around you and about you. And when you have fear-based thoughts, those thoughts actually control your perspective on life, your perspective on yourself, and moving forward. So you want to get to a place where we're able to identify what areas we're actually struggling with fear. I mean, a lot of times, you don't know that fear is an issue in your life because maybe most of the day you feel fine. And then this particular subject that you may be talking about, then it's like, oh, I'm nervous, I'm anxious. So, fear doesn't always come in the standard way. Fear doesn't always immobilize you. It can really take moments of your day or moments of your life, but it may not be in a position where it's immobilizing. Sometimes fear can mask itself in a totally different emotion, and you have no idea that that particular emotion is rooted in fear. For example, have you ever avoided an issue until the last minute? Now, I know I have. And, procrastination could be an issue for some people, but think about it. Is it really procrastination? And what is the actual root of procrastination? Perhaps, and not all the time, but if you really dig, perhaps procrastination may be disguised as fear. Think about it. Are you procrastinating because you're afraid of doing something? Are you procrastinating because when you do something, it evokes an emotion that you're afraid of? Think about why you're procrastinating. So sometimes we'll have these other feelings that kind of mask what the true feeling is, because maybe we're afraid of a particular project, or we're afraid of a particular journey, or we're afraid of failing in that journey or failing on that project. Or perhaps maybe we just have a fear of vulnerability concerning that particular situation, and therefore we're afraid. So I just want to kind of give some tips, just a couple of things, just to kind of help us fight through fear effectively. All right. So one of the things I want us to think about is when you're trying to fight through fear, establish what our fears are. Establish what our fears are. Denial will keep us stuck in a fear-based mentality. So if you have honestly, denial keep you stuck anyway. If you can't face the truth in any matter of your life, then it cannot be repaired. That particular area that's traumatized by the denial, by the lack of truth, is not going to be able to be, changed or moved forward. So understand that denial is just not that great of a thing to have in your life anyway. So when you're operating in denial and fear is a part of it, it's really, honestly, you can't fix what it is that you're afraid of if you're not willing to admit it. This particular step, and it should be your first step, it helps you to be able to overcome it because you'll be able to ask yourself certain questions like, what am I feeling? How often do I feel it? What triggers these feelings? And when you're thinking about that, keep a journal, keep track of how often you're feeling a particular type of way, because you may be surprised that what you thought was one thing and it was fear all the time. Another thing is that we have to admit that fear may exist, but it doesn't make us weak. And I'm going to say it for the people in the back, okay? Fear exists, but it doesn't make us weak, and you'll know if you think fear makes you weak. And I can hear some people right now that says, no, it doesn't make you weak. It's fine. And then as soon as somebody say, are you afraid? No, I'm not afraid. And the concept is we all get afraid sometimes. We all are fearful of something, Even Superman had kryptonite. I mean, it's always that one thing or more. But the part is we have to feel empowered by having the knowledge of it. And with this knowledge, we can devise a plan to manage it. Notice I didn't say dissolve. Some fear is dissolved because it's, maybe you were afraid to go on this very exciting ride at the carnival or something. And then you get on the ride and realize it wasn't that bad. Then, okay, the fear is dissolved. But some things, it's just kind of a scary experience, maybe a new journey in life, a new chapter, new experiences. And then maybe that fear might linger a bit, but we have to manage that. And over time, it'll dissipate, maybe not all the way, maybe some. It really depends. Some people are, I say predispositioned. I think that's what you say, predispositioned to have fear, maybe because of a chemical imbalance or something of that nature. But, regardless of the situation, all emotions need to be and can be managed. So this leads me to the next point. Create and execute a step-by-step plan to conquer those fears. Create and execute a step-by-step plan to conquer those fears. So what that looks like is this plan would be different for everyone else because it has to cater to your situation. And each plan takes time and it takes revision, and each plan needs patience to carry it out. So I'm going to say it again. It needs patience to carry it out. Often with my clients, when I'm doing coaching, I let them know you have to be patient with yourself, because even though we're creating this plan of action for you, you're going to have to give yourself time to experience the growth process. And the growth process could take a while. I remember speaking to someone and they were telling me that they were very, just bothered by doing all these different things for their career and really not seeing the fruit of their labor. And they felt that other people were experiencing the fruit of their labor, but she didn't feel like she was experiencing it. And I can definitely understand and relate to that. We all struggle in some area, and sometimes we'll look at our career and say, where is this going? But I had to express to her that when you put together a plan, sometimes you have to revise it, Sometimes you have to look at it and say, I'm not going to scrap this plan, but I'm going to make some changes. I'm going to alter some things. Maybe I won't do this as much. Maybe I'll do this a little bit more and have those experiences. So allow yourself to carry out a plan. Okay. And listen, it's okay to get assistance with a plan. I mean, sometimes we can't see a situation clearly because we're overly emotionally involved. So Getting proper assistance to help us devise this plan of action to overcome, you know, is a great idea. I mean, you may consider a counselor, you may consider a life coach like myself, to bounce ideas off and to help orchestrate and navigate through your life. So depending on how deeply rooted your fear is, I mean, it may turn into, further on, getting a therapist, and you may have a life coach and a therapist. I mean, every situation is different, but don't be afraid to get the proper assistance that you need for your life. It's necessary. I tell people, when you go to the doctor, because maybe you might have a cold or something, you may go to the doctor because you're sick, and you do the things you need to do to get better. But sometimes when we are emotionally traumatized or emotionally burdened, we don't want to go see someone professional to take care of those matters. So I tell people it's okay to find a counselor. It's okay to find a therapist. It's okay to find a life coach. It's okay. And it doesn't mean that you're going to need this person forever. It just means that in this phase of your life, in this particular situation, you need a little extra help. So in order to fight through fear or any other obstacle in your life, you got to have a plan. And sometimes you need help to devise it. Another thing is prepare for setbacks. A lot of times we think it's going to be smooth sailing. And I think I've mentioned it before that life and journeys and processes aren't smooth sailings. So we have to understand that even with a plan, there may be setbacks. Just like in life, there's setbacks. But that's what makes it a fight. It's not going to be completely smooth. There are ebbs and flows in every process. You're human, and setbacks are human. So we have to understand that once you identify what the setbacks are, revise that plan. That's that word revision again. Tweak some things in your strategy. And most importantly, keep going. Which brings me to my last point. Fighting through fear requires for you to do it afraid. Do it afraid. This is my favorite saying. I say it to everyone. I've said it to myself. I've said it to church. I've said it to families. Whoever asks, I'll say, do it anyway. Do it afraid. And the reason why I say that is because, you have your goals and you want to achieve them. And sometimes not knowing what's going to happen afterwards can make you feel afraid, right? So you never let fear stop your happiness. You're going to fight through fear, right? Fight through it and just know that it's going to be okay one way or the other. And over time, you'll be able to see the changes in your life. You'll be able to see the fruits of your labor. You have to just understand that it's a process. Do it afraid. There's so many things I've done in my life. And I think to myself, man, I can't believe I did that. I was so afraid. For example, a few months ago, I moved out of state and I was so afraid to move. Let me preface. I was petrified to move. I can't recall a moment where I could consider myself being petrified, but I really was. And I had never lived anywhere out of my hometown, and I just pick up and move out of state. And it was a really bold move, but I was so desperate for change in my life that I took a chance, following my career goals. And again, I was petrified, right? I was thinking about the cost of living. I was thinking about, gosh, I don't have any family out here, all this kind of stuff like that. I'm thinking about all these things, but the fact is I made the leap. I took the leap of faith and I moved. And after I did detailed planning and research, because I just didn't just move all willy-nilly, I thought about it for a really long time. I saved money, all these type of things. And then after I planned and researched and tried and looked and all these different things, I made the decision. The point is, now looking at it, it was the best decision of my life because finally I'm in a place where I'm really, really, really happy. I would say for that, being the outcome is what I really initially wanted anyway. Had I let fear stop me, I would have never have known if I would have been happy or not. I would have never have known what the ending would have been. And so I would say for you, when it comes to something, especially something really positive, and you're afraid, take the steps to help diminish that fear by creating a plan, creating a strategy step by step, no matter where you are. Get assistance to help you if you need that. Okay. You can bounce off ideas off a friend or someone close to you and your family. That's fine. But if you need a professional help to come through a plan, you don't have to be in dire straits to be able to get professional help. You could just ask somebody that you think is a little bit more knowledgeable than you, a life coach, a career coach, whatever that you need at that time, right? Get what you need, encourage yourself, and do it anyway. Okay. So I just wanted to kind of let you know that you can do this. It's going to be okay. You have a plan. And if you don't, I'll help you create one. Just know I'm here to help you if you need a coach. I'm Dr. Martina Wade-Hill, your personal life coach, helping you navigate through life. For personal coaching sessions with me, I invite you to my website, lifecoachmartina.com, and tune in regularly on YouTube for more episodes. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. And until next time, be safe and love each other.